Hey everyone, welcome back. I just received a package and it has a return address of the United Kingdom. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what I've got. Inside the box, paper, a goodie that will open up in a moment, and it looks like I have a bonus item here as well. So let's go ahead and unwrap these and take a look. Okay, so let's go ahead and open this bad boy here, and I'll tell you what this is after I open it. And I'll give you a hint in case you want to try and guess what it might be. I'll let you know that this is from Ricky from You Make Robots, and I'm looking forward to seeing this in person because I've seen it online, but I've never seen one actually in person. So let me finish unwrapping it here. And here it is. This is the Aquapad game controller for the Aquarius computer. So you might be familiar with the original Aquarius computer. It came with original controllers that are similar to Intellivision controllers, and for a long time that was the only option that people had for playing games on the Aquarius, was using the original controllers, until recently when Ricky from You Make Robots came up with an ingenious invention, which was the predecessor to this controller, which was also called the Aquapad, which I also own, so I'll grab it and show that to you now. So this is the original Aquapad that Ricky developed for the Aquarius computer, and this gives the Aquarius computer a lot more functionality. Well, it makes it easier to play games with because it's designed more like a conventional modern day controller, and you can see it has all the buttons here and a thumbstick here, and I did a review of this controller on a previous video, so you can go ahead and check that out if you like. And now I want to show you the new updated version of this controller, which is also called Aquapad, but the new one is white and the old one is black. I don't think they come in any different colors, but there is a difference between these two, which is on the original controller, the thumbstick, it emulates the original Aquarius controller by allowing it to move in 16 different directions, just as the original Aquarius controller did with the circular disc on the bottom of the original control pad. But apparently some games are easier to play using just 8 directions, up, down, left, and right, and the 4 diagonals. And apparently this new controller allows you to do exactly that. You can configure this controller to operate in either 16 directional mode or 8 directional mode. So, and also it looks cool as well. It's white, it has different styling, and it looks really neat. So I believe that is the only difference between these controllers, unless I'm mistaken. And so next what I want to do is go ahead and hook this up and test out this new functionality. But before I do that, let me go ahead and open my bonus present that I wasn't actually expecting to receive, but Ricky sent this to me as a bonus. So let's go ahead and open it up, and if it is what I think it is, then I'm going to be really excited. So can you guess what it might be? Let's go ahead and open it up. I think I need the knife for this one. Maybe, maybe not. Yes, it is. This is the infamous Specky wallet, and you can see it has Manic Miner on the front, and on the back it has a Specky, which is super cool. And actually I've been looking at this product on Ricky's website, and ever since I saw that, I thought it was really cool, and I've been meaning to order one, but it's never been in stock. And so to actually receive this wallet was a really big surprise for me, and I'm really thrilled to have it. So Ricky, thank you very much for for sending this to me. I really appreciate it, and I'm really thrilled to have this because, like I said, I've been wanting one of these, and now I have one, and I wasn't even expecting to get one. And let's just take a look at the inside. I haven't even seen the inside myself. So it looks like a really good quality wallet. And I actually need a new wallet because I change my wallets about once every 20 years or so. So it's about time for me to get a new one. So this is fantastic. And it has an extra little pocket in the front here. So that is super cool. Thanks, Ricky. All right, so what I want to do now is go ahead and hook up the new Aquapad controller with its fancy features to an Aquarius computer. And I have my Aquarius Plus computer here that I got from Sean Harrington, and I'm actually looking forward to making some games for this. I made one game for it, which is Zorlac's Revenge, which I actually made this as a cover tape for a magazine that I had made, and it is designed to work on the original Aquarius computer, but of course you can run it on the Aquarius Plus as well. But it doesn't really take advantage of the features of the Aquarius Plus, so I'm looking forward to actually making games for the Aquarius Plus that use its advanced features like sprites and all that. So this is my Aquarius Plus, and it has on the front here joystick ports right here. So I'm going to plug in my new Aquapad Aquarius controller to my Aquarius Plus, and we'll go ahead and test it out and we'll see how it works. All right, so I've got my Aquapad controller plugged into my Aquarius Plus, but I haven't plugged in the power to my Aquarius Plus just yet because I'm using it to charge my Aquapad controller. But I thought before we go ahead and test this out, we'll just take a look at the enclosure and see what features it has on it. And so let's take a look at the front first. And you can see it has a nice white design to it, which looks really nice. The case is nice and smooth, has a good feel to it, feels very sturdy. And it has the words Aquapad here etched into the case, which is cool. And you can see it has the 6 buttons that you need to control games for the Aquarius computer up here. And they have a nice clicky feel to them. I think you can hear the clicking. It feels really good. The click on these buttons, it has a really nice feel in my hands to click these buttons. They have a satisfying click. And here we have the thumbstick, of course, which can be set to operate in either 8 or 16 directions, and I'll show you how we do that in a moment. And there's no ports on the underside or the sides of the controllers, but on the back here, of course, we do have some ports. So, well, we have one port. We have a charging port right here, which I have the charging cable plugged into it right now. And on the back here, well, before we go to the back, let's stick with the back side. Here is a power switch. It's a push on, push off power switch. And now we can go to the back, or I guess the bottom, the underside. So here you can see there is a tiny hole in the case that should be showing you, if I hold this at the right angle, you should be able to see a red light through that tiny hole. And there's no instructions that came along with this controller, but I don't think it's too hard to figure out. The red light is showing now that I have the power plugged into it. So if I take out the charging cable, the light is off. And if I go ahead and switch on this power button here, then down here, and there's another tiny hole down here that has a green LED showing. So that's cool. And what is even cooler is I'm going to go ahead and turn off the controller for now, and I want to go back and show you the front. So you can see here on the front there are 6 buttons labeled 1 to 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the printing on the numbers is darker than the etching for these Aquapad letters. And so I originally thought that they were black, they were colored black somehow, but actually when I look closer at them, it looks like they're not actually colored black, although they look black, but actually they are cut right through the plastic. And you can see in behind there, it looks like there's actually a kind of a striped clear plastic stuck in behind the numbers. And the reason for that is really cool. When I go ahead and turn this on again, you can see why that is. So here, let's go ahead and turn it on. And there you can see there's actually lights in behind these numbers, which is really cool. And that is a feature that does not exist on the original Aquapad controller, which I have right here. So this is the original one, and this is the new one. And the new one has lights behind the letters for the buttons, which is really cool. And there is a reason for that as well. And I love the blue color also, by the way. It looks really cool to have blue illuminated numbers for the buttons here. And what the lights do for us is they let us know which mode the controller is in. As I mentioned, it can be switched between 8 directions and 16 directions. And the way you do that is by holding down the thumb pad. So if I press down on the thumb pad and I let it go, you can see that these lights are now flashing. And the flashing indicates that it's in a certain mode, and the non-flashing indicates it's in the other mode. I don't remember which mode is which, but one mode is 16 directions and the other mode is 8 directions. I'm just not sure which, if flashing means it's in 8 directions or 16 directions. But you can go ahead and toggle between the two modes by pressing on the thumb pad until it stops flashing. And if you want it to go into the other mode, you just press the thumb pad again until it starts flashing like that. And now it can operate in 2 different modes. So let's go ahead and try it out on the Aquarius Plus computer now and see how it works. Alright, so I've now found the correct adapter and here it is here. This is a VGA to HDMI adapter, and here we have the VGA connector that will plug into the back of my Aquarius Plus, and here we have the output this time, which is HDMI. We also have an audio cable that I can plug into the audio output of the computer, except my monitor, although it has HDMI input, or rather my video capture device has HDMI input, it doesn't capture sound through the HDMI. So I don't need to connect the audio cable in this case because my capture device won't sense the audio and we won't be able to hear it anyway. But I could use this if I did have, let's say, a monitor that was able to play sound. So if I do want to play sound from my Aquarius Plus, I would just connect it to an external speaker. So there I've plugged in the power to my adapter, and now I'll go ahead and plug in the adapter to the video output of my Aquarius Plus. Okay, and then all I need to do now is connect an HDMI cable from my adapter to my capture card. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'll connect that up, and then we'll switch over the screen and we'll test out this modern enhanced Aquarius Aquapad with the Aquarius Plus computer. So stick around, we'll do that right now. So I've got my USB keyboard connected to my Aquarius Plus. I'll go ahead and press enter. And there we have the boot screen for the Aquarius Plus. Alright, so here is the program that I've entered to read the joystick. And we can see in line 10 here, I'm assigning the value that's read from the joystick into variable A, and then I clear the screen at line 20. Line 30 prints the value read from the joystick, which is the A variable. And then at line 40, I read the joystick again and put the value into a different variable, this time the B variable. And then in line 50, I check to see if the joystick value has changed. So if B equals A, that means the joystick value has not changed. Then I just simply loop back to line 40 and read the joystick again. If the value has changed, then the program drops down to line 60 and it makes the two variable values the same. And then line 70 finally loops back up to line 20. That clears the screen and prints the joystick value again. So let's go ahead and run this program. And there we can see value 0, and I'm not touching anything on the joystick, or the controller I should say. So it's giving me a value of 0. So first let's go ahead and cycle through the buttons from 1 to 6. So button 1 gives a value 64, button 2, 132, button 3, 160, button 4, 32, button 5, 130, and button 6, 129. So let's see what happens when we press two buttons at the same time. So button 1 by itself is 64, button 2 by itself is 132, and if I press buttons 1 and 2 together, I get 196. So it adds the two values together. Okay, so that's cool, which is what I would expect. Now let's go ahead and move the thumbstick around. First I'll move it straight up, and I get a value of 4. Straight down, value of 1. To the right, value of 2. To the left, value of 8. Now there should be 3 diagonal directions for every quadrant. So let's say I go to the upper right quadrant. We can find out how many diagonal values there are, and that should tell us what mode our controller is in, whether it's in 8-directional mode or 16-directional mode. So let me just go to the top right corner, and I get a value of 22, and I'm right in the center of the top right corner. If I move to the left a little bit, I get 20, and then if I keep going left to the straight up position, I get 4. So straight up is 4, to the right is 2, and then if I go from up, which is 4, and I swipe the thumbstick toward the right direction, it goes from up at 4, then 20, 22, 6, and then finally 2 at the rightmost direction. So this must be in 16-directional mode, and the LEDs on the button numbers are solid, they're not flashing. So now I'm going to switch it into 8-directional mode, and I'm curious to see which diagonal direction we get. Alright, the LEDs under the button numbers are flashing, and I'll move the thumbstick again. So straight up, I get 4, and as I move it to the right, I get 22, and then 2 at the far right. So it gives me a value of 22. So it gives me the center diagonal value. Okay, so that's cool. We have our new enhanced Aquapad Aquarius controller tested and working. It works great. So that's really cool. Now let me go ahead and load up a game, and we'll try this controller with a game. Alright, so here we go. I've got Zorlac's Revenge loaded up on my Aquarius Plus, and I'm going to play it using my brand new Aquapad Enhanced Edition. So let's go up to the top, Start Battle Selection, press a button on the controller. Fully functional ship, press button to begin. And there we go. So this works really well with this new controller. And I am currently in 16 directional mode, and it is moving perfectly. This game detects diagonal directions, as you can see, and it fires automatically, so I only need to move the controller around, which moves my ship around. So I'm moving the thumbstick, and it is controlling my ship perfectly. And you can see how nicely this game runs with this controller. So now I'm going to put the controller into 16 directional mode by pressing down on the thumbstick, and it's now in 16 directional mode. So I'll go ahead and continue the game. And yep, it works perfectly in 16 directional mode as well. So this is going to make it really versatile for programming new games, and you can use this controller in whichever mode works best for you depending on the game that you're playing, and if it takes advantage of 16 directions or if it only uses 8 directions. So that's really cool. So there we go. I was able to successfully play a game, my Zorlac's Revenge, on the Aquarius Plus computer using the new enhanced deluxe version of Ricky's You Make Robots Aquapad, which allows you to select either 16 directions or 8 directions. And it has these cool lights behind the numbers for the buttons. Very cool. Thanks very much, Ricky. I really appreciate being able to get one of these controllers. And I'm not sure if Ricky has any more in stock at the moment, or when he might have some more in stock. You might need to check with him or go to the youmakerobots.com website and check it out. And I'm also thrilled to have my new Specky wallet with Manic Miner on one side and the Specky on the other. Very cool. So that's it for today. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Take care.